Hey, it's Tuesday night tonight. Thanks for being here. Before we do anything, I don't care if you're live or on the replay. This is a one time. I don't even care if you click away. The very, very first line in the description is a link to the Deeds Not Words 2 campaign where you can support disabled veterans. We're going to talk about it tonight, but it's the most important thing that we're talking about tonight. And one of the most important things that you can do to help out both our community, help out the vets that have served our country. And we'll get into it and talk about that stuff tonight, but it's very important. It's very cool. It's the very first line in the description. So go click on it or remember to click on it after this. But if you're watching on the replay, just go click on it and come back. You check out the great show. I got Chris Eaton and I got Kaps from Green Line Morphs and from the Fat Man Nation. We're hanging out tonight. Thanks for being here. Let's get to it. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for being here. We're coming to you landscape and portrait. Look, I like doing a little blessing, all that good stuff. Yeah, landscape and portrait. I hope that you are doing well. Chris Eaton and Kaps on the show tonight. And I was joking in the green room, like, these are the best shows. I don't have to do much prep. I got pros with me. We're just going to have a fun time. So don't go anywhere tonight. We are going to talk about the Deeds Not Words campaign, but, you know, I got to dig into Chris's mind about what he thinks of anything ball python related. And I haven't spent a whole lot of time with Jay. We got to do that. We got to learn a little bit more about what Jay's got going on in his snake room as well. The announcements this week are pretty short and sweet. It's Tinley week, guys. If you are going to Tinley, first off, like, put it in the comments, because that'd be cool for anybody that wants to catch up with each other. And I do read the comments. I don't always have a chance to look at them and shout everybody out while we're rolling, but I do read them. I do check it out, and on the show replay, I'll check it out. But I'd love to see you at Tinley. And you know what? Here's the greatest example of turning not a curse, but a negative maybe situation into a positive. Easiest table in Tinley to find. Go all the way back and go all the way left, and you're going to find me. I'm the very last table in the back of the room, all the way to the back left. You'll find me back there. And it just happens to be right next to Cold Blooded Cafe, who have been great supporters of Proper Royals for we just passed the 4-year mark working together. So shout out to Desiree and the team at Cold Blooded Cafe. If you haven't, you could use it over and over, but if you haven't used it, you should. The promo code Proper11 will get you free shipping on orders over $200 from Cold Blooded Cafe. And honestly, I don't know why you'd order frozen rodents for less than $200. Like, get your free shipping. It's like $35 to ship. Like, you should just get the $200 so you could get the free shipping. Use the promo code Proper11. Okay. I hope to see you at Tinley. Come hang out. I don't have any gimmicks. I don't have any new swag. I got cool snakes, and I'll be there. Come check them out and come have fun. Come hang out at Tinley. Hope to see you there, everybody. Chris Eaton and Jay. What I think people don't know about me, or don't get, or don't connect, and I know I do it to myself with a name like Proper Royals, okay? I don't really care what people are about. Now, you can't be a jerk. You can't be a bad person. But if you're authentic and you're real and you're yourself and you accept me as authentic and real and myself, we're going to be killer friends. So you don't know how many people are like, man, Adam, it doesn't make sense. You and Chris hanging out and blah, 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 which I really think is an underhanded judgment of which I won't get into. But what I'm saying is, people that don't make that connection, A, don't really get me, and B, don't really get the value of Chris and Jay, of how real and authentic and honest they are. And behind the scenes, I have to tell you, Chris is always, like, we've worked together. We traveled to Canada together. Like, there's no pressure for me not to be myself. You know, when you're around people and they're like, you know, you God forbid, like politics or religion or some social issue comes up, I've never been around. There's not that many people you can be around that just let you be you, even if it's in contrast to what they believe, which is so refreshing. It's like, it's what the world has lost. So there's my little stump speech tonight. I adore these guys. I love hanging out with them. I would do shows more often with them, except they would get boring and we'd seem lazy and it'd be unoriginal. So we got to stay original and we got to stay, at the top of our game and all of that. But please welcome back to the proper royal stage, Jay Kaps and Chris Eaton. What's going on, guys? How you doing tonight?
What's up, brother? What's up, everybody?
Thanks for being here. Sorry for the, it's always just the most awkward thing to talk about somebody when they're sitting there in the green room and can't say anything, so I got to ride that wave a little bit,
Yeah, no. And just so people know, I had a little bromance with Adam in Canada because he was just, we went to a steakhouse and
this is the most annoying thing ever.
No, it's so cool to be with a dude that like knows food, like food, right? And Adam was just like, excuse me, this has to go back. It's not the way it was. And I was just like, oh, I love this guy, right? And then the waiter comes back all nervous, like I love making people uncomfortable. Making people uncomfortable in another country was just at another level. Right. And I loved it because Adam was doing it and not me. And it was great. Like I get sympathy because I'm in the wheelchair. Right. So like they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And then they bring it back. They're like, I'm sorry for what you're going through in life and everything. And I'm like, yeah, fuck. With Adam, the waiter just fucking threw it on the table.
In my defense, and Chris will testify to this, I will pay for good food. I never once asked about the price. I never once complained about the price. You got to deliver. That's what the whole value proposition of anything is. Like I'll pay for Gibson guitars, but they got to deliver and the same kind of thing. So that is a true story though. That is true. Hey, I forgot. I got to take it back. I don't shout everybody out, but I got to give a special thanks to Shauna who ran production for us that whole time in Canada, always working behind the scenes, carrying your load, man. This is fantastic. So thank you, Sean. I appreciate you. Don't make a joke about that. I know it as soon as I said it. I just, okay. Let's, Jay, how you doing, man?
Not too bad, man.
Thank you for being here, man. We did a little work on the 15 minutes on lame. And were you on last year for the Deeds Not Words episode 2 or not? I can't remember if you've been on the show with me here before.
I think this is my first time on your show.
Well, welcome. Thank you for being here, man.
Last year I was more in the background of Deeds Not Words.
Yeah.
This year I'm a little bit more in the forefront.
You were on, Maybe we did something on. We did
15 minutes of lame debates.
No, I know we did that, but I think you were working with somebody else when I was on their show or a guest or you were. It doesn't matter. These are all like convoluted little worlds of podcasts where it's all the same show.
Jay was helping out everybody the year before when Paul won. Yeah. I think that nobody knew what Jay is capable of, right? And when Jay was actually in the competition, Jay put out a video where he dove into the toilet and swam into the gutter. And it all looked real. Like I was like, this dude's like Spielberg. And I think that's when people realize, like, Jay's a good guy to do behind the scenes. Jay still runs the Shane Show.
Oh, really?
On Wednesday nights, right? Jay is the Shauna of that show.
I didn't know that. Me and Shane are pretty good buddies. He's been holding out that information. I didn't know that. Maybe you were on there when I was on that. I don't know. Anyway.
I'm all over the place, but I'm incognito when I do it.
Just the way you like it, right? Yeah. Okay. Hey, before we get too far or we lose any focus, guys, tell us about Deeds Not Words if people don't know about it. And then tell us about this second year and where the support goes and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, Jay handle that if he wants.
So Deeds Not Words is a campaign that we came up with to actually help veterans out and not just say we are. There's a lot of organizations out there that pull in money, and not all that. I don't think a lot of that money goes towards actually helping veterans. But so we decided let's make this something that's truly about veterans and helping them. So all of our proceeds that we collect go to Camp Freedom, which is out here by me in Pennsylvania. And their mission is huge. They got like 6,000 some acres of land where veterans and first responders and Gold Star families can go up there, and they can go fishing, they can go hiking, camping, mountain bike riding. There's so much stuff up there.
They got Chris out in the woods too, huh?
Yep. We have.
They put me in a tank. A tank wheelchair.
Yeah, a little bulldozer tank wheelchair, man. That thing was awesome.
I felt like Professor X in X-Men and the new Marvel movies, right? Like it could go anywhere. And they also have hunting on the property, and hunting is huge with people, man. Like I didn't know how big hunting was, but they have buffalo like on the property where
we're talking big game.
Yeah, you can go deer hunting, buffalo hunting.
I didn't even know we had buffalo in the state.
Yeah, they got buffalo right in Camp Freedom. And you have to go there to see what an amazing place it is. Like when you're actually there, you're like, holy crap, this place is the real deal. And all of the money that we collect goes directly to Camp Freedom. There's no profit on anything. Well, every shirt that we sell, all the profit goes to Camp Freedom. On the donations, the only thing that we pay out and would consider administrative is we do characters, and we have to pay the artist to do the character. But the character Haley Gray, which is the daughter of Sean Gray of the Herp shows and Herp Shop. She does an amazing job, and she charges like, she can normally get like $300 an hour. We got her for like $3 an hour, right?
Yeah.
And that's the only money that goes elsewhere. And if you don't want the character, you don't get the character. We don't pay for the character, and all the money will go. But the character's like a cute little add-on, bonus feature.
It's a cool little item.
Yeah, and it helps with marketing and all that. So that's the only money. All the other money goes directly to Camp Freedom.
And sorry, Camp Freedom's in Pennsylvania. Is that correct? I have that right? Yeah. Okay. And last year, what were the results? What were you able to donate at the end of it? When all was said and done.
$7,200.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome, man. What does that bring for like a place like Camp Freedom? I mean, we were kind of joking about getting you on a tank in the woods, but there are people that, like you say, if they want to go hunt or they want to just be out in the woods, some people just can't be out in nature anymore.
Right.
And that's a legitimate thing that they have to put the veterans in.
Yeah. They have several of them. Yeah. A little kid was in one, and Sean and Jay were like, we're going to get you one of those. This is bullshit that you're wheeling around on gravel. Right. And next thing I know, I looked over, and the guy's bringing me over a tank, right? And he's like, come check this thing out. It was, you could get anywhere with it,
Yeah.
It was like, if I wanted to go Bigfoot hunting in this tank, I could go Bigfoot hunting in this tank. You could get over hills and rocks and streams, and it's such a great device. And for dudes that lost their legs, or you lost their use of the leg, that they can't really just go wheelchair hunting anymore.
No.
You have to have some really stupid deer and buffalo, to just walk up to a wheelchair guy and have him get a shot at you. But with this thing, and they don't just let you go out and shoot things. They have guides and everything. but if you go to the place and you're just like, oh, I'm not disabled anymore. And anything the guys over here walking could do, I could do, or it's literally a life-changing place, man.
Yeah. I think obviously, like, we all take for granted some of the freedoms and things that we have, which is not new news. And it's the nature of things. Like, we forget, even no matter what anybody thinks about any current state of anything at any given time in history, we still have it better on this planet than most people have ever had in the history of the world. And we forget that little things like a walk in nature, or fishing by a stream, or hunting in a stand, or getting out to, the edge of a field. It's really easy to take that stuff for granted. And I have to think the mental boost to revisit that just for a day or an afternoon, or however long the trip to the camp is, whether it's a week or an hour or a month or 10 minutes. I'm sure it's amazing, and it's just a huge mental boost just to get back to that moment for a little bit. And I don't even mean that like people are pitiful or anything like that. We all have moments in our lives where we're like, man, that was a special place. I'm so glad I got to revisit that memory for a moment. I think it's outstanding. I think it's a great mission, and thank you guys for doing that. So you did 7,200 last year. What's the goal for this year?
10,000.
10,000. Do you want to give any update? Where are you at? What's the outlook? What's the projection? How you feeling?
I think we're going to make it this year. We've been doing it. The campaign is basically a month old. We started it February 1st, and we already reached almost half of that 10,000.
Nice.
So, and that's between shirts and donations, and and we're still going after the bigger people in the community for donations, and just buy a shirt. Anything you do is going to help out and put us more towards that number.
And am I right? Like, not that we only want people to give $5, but if they go to your site, Fat Man Nation, and then there's the link, support veterans, which is very first line in the description down below, guys. You don't even have to memorize anything. Just click it down below there. There's a link to just give you however much they want to give. If $5 is what they got, $5 is what they got. I mean,
yeah. We appreciate anything. Matter of fact, when we do shows, anywhere between $1 and $20 is what people donate right on the spot. And we appreciate it all. It all goes towards, towards the end goal.
We had people dump change in our bucket. We have a stainless steel bucket.
And we didn't even care. We were just like, and it was by a little kid who only had change.
There you go.
It was great, man. And we got a great team with us between Large Marge, Sugar Skull, Bull Pythons, HJS Serpents. I'm sure I'm leaving people out, but we have an amazing team that we get there, and we have two. What are the booths? 10 feet, 8 feet,
8-foot tables.
We have 2 8-foot tables and backdrops set up within 20 minutes.
Oh yeah,
and everything's all ready to go. So the team that we have, we couldn't do it without them.
Will anybody be at Tinley with shirts if people want to buy them on the spot?
We won't be at Tinley with shirts because we didn't get the black shirts yet.
I see.
The only way to get the black shirts is to go to a live event or donate, the $250 or the $500 tier. Otherwise, they're green shirts and dark blue shirts for the first responders.
Let me ask you this. For next year, I have a weird table, and actually Chris at BNS Reptilia, if it were October, it'd be a little more complicated, but we make the best of what we got. It's a weird table in a weird space, but we're able to actually make like a right angle with a little short table on the side. And it's always like, I don't know what goes over there. If you guys want me to have some shirts there that I could sell and collect separately for donations, let me know. We'll figure it out for next March. I realize the campaign will be over in October, but a year from now, that space is available. If you guys, if you want a presence there at Tinley, we'll figure that out.
We're going to be all over the country this year. We're waiting on the supplies. When we have a lot of people donating stuff to us. So like the printer is doing
gotcha.
thousands of cards and hundreds of posters for us for free. So we have to wait on their timeline. So we're having all that this week, and I'm shipping out boxes next week.
Oh, okay.
We put together a collective team of different breeders that actually vend shows all over America. They were carefully selected for that reason. So we have somebody in California, we have people in Texas, Florida, in Tennessee. Like we're trying to expand it out to all 50 states if possible.
Well, you know where you guys got my number. You know how to find me. If I can help, it's there for you. So I think that would be real cool. So Jen, you're gonna have to go on the website, and like I say, the link is right there at the very top. Did you guys find last year that there's like an initial big pop? Because you said you're already halfway, and from like a timeline, we're only a quarter of the way there, but do you find that there's the initial excitement and then it trails off? Is that where you're saying that you might get there?
I don't think it died last year. It was a steady momentum from start to finish.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, we were getting sometimes $500 to $800 per show that we were doing in donations.
Yeah.
So it all kept going. The great thing about shows is, like our fans aren't. There's totally new people at the show. Like they could never see us. Yeah. And once they see the giant, vet, help the disabled vets out and first responders, people come up, and it doesn't hurt to have guys like Sammy there who are great salespeople.
Sammy doesn't stop, man.
he doesn't stop at all. I mean, we raised $500 in Albany. Like in Albany, like who would have thought at an Albany show we would have did that? And
Sammy pulled in $700 or $800 at one of the Gettysburg shows, I think.
Yeah,
that was the Nassau show.
It was Long Island, yeah. And Sammy loves doing it. We make a whole bunch of jokes like Sammy's like, my boss over there found me in the Home Depot parking lot, and if I don't make a donation, he's going to send me back. He's calling ICE. And Sammy's just like...
He's our day worker.
Yeah, he's our day worker, yeah. But Sammy, I've never seen like little kids and families approach somebody more. Sammy just has that vibrance to him in the room.
He does, and another one that's just totally authentically himself, man. There's no curtain to peek behind. You're peeking at the whole thing from the second you lay eyes on him, man.
Oh well, because he was in Canada with us.
Yeah,
so
we were hanging out in Canada. He was the last one at the end of the night, always hanging, and he doesn't even drink. He was like, "Yeah, I'll hang out with you." We were just still hanging out at the end of the night, man.
Man, he's the friendships that we made. Between me and Jay, me and Paul were already friends, but me and Kevin, HJS, I mean, the friendships that like these guys will walk in front of a bus for each other.
Yeah.
And, those are the kind of people that we wanted in this thing,
I agree. And it's a cool crew, man. And I got to hang out with most of them in Canada, which I knew everybody, but I never meant the joke was we had to go to Canada to meet each other, but like, it was a real cool thing. I was scrolling back because I was looking for one. Here we go. Chris brought up a good idea. We did something in the past where all the super chats or the basically the tip money goes to deeds, not words. And we did that last year, and Chris and I covered the YouTube feeds. But here's the reality. I think Chris and I paid about $400, and it's not about what we paid. It's that $400 could just go straight to deeds, not words. Okay. So right. like the net or the gross of what was paid, YouTube still kept $400 of that. So yeah, we were happy to make it up, and thank you guys for how much you gave last year. But there's a reason I put it as line. I get chills talking about it. There's a reason it's line number 1 in the description, is so that you could go there and 100% of your money goes there. And I don't know, maybe Chris and I will figure out some way to match a percentage or something. Again, it's not that we forked out money. It's that all of it can go. It can all go straight to the campaign instead of YouTube taking a cut. So it's not us backing down from prior commitments or anything. YouTube's cut is like 45%. Like it's just slightly over 50% that lands in my bank account from any of the super chats. So we paid it, we made it up, no problem. We were proud to. But it's just ineffective. It still was there was still, I guess it's not a waste. YouTube gave us the platform, but it can be more effective. Just go to the link and donate directly. And if the shirt's not your thing, if the logo's not your thing, but doing good is your thing, give what you can. I mean, between the vertical and the horizontal presentation of this show, I guarantee we'll have over 500 views. If we average $5 to $10 per person on a click, that would be $2,500 to $5,000.
Right. Yeah. Like it would suck if we were trying to hit that $10,000 goal, and because YouTube takes its cut, we were $400 short.
That's right.
The $9,600 we give them.
So guys, if you can help out, please do. If you're watching live, think about it. If you're watching on the replay, take a moment, go check it out or plan accordingly. Look, if you could drop $1,000 on a ball python, you can drop 5, 10, 35, 100, $200 in the deeds not words jar.
Yeah,
so
if they don't want to buy a shirt, there's instructions on the Fat Man Nation website where it tells you exactly how you could send any cash donation.
Yeah. And what we do is I cover all the fees. You know, like if you give $100, we're putting $100 in the coffer.
Oh yeah,
we're not putting $86 in the coffer. We're just it's just worth it to do it, and I'm determined to hit the number this year. I know Jay is too. Sammy wanted to double it, which I'm really happy, because that means Sammy's going to work a lot harder, on the shows that he does with us. So
last year, Sammy, every person that bought a shirt, he just took $10 out of his pocket and threw it in for like no reason.
Yeah, so we sell the shirts for $35. Sammy was selling the shirts for $25 and then just putting $10 in. And we sold a lot of shirts those days.
And he's the kind of guy that's not posting. He's not making videos of him dropping tens he just goes and does it. Yeah, exactly, man. That's the stuff I love, man.
He's actually, so he lives out in Connecticut, and he is linked up with a VFW. I have yet to talk to them yet, but he's trying to do a ZD dinner and sell tickets for it. I got to talk with him more about it, but that's not going to happen until April or May.
And the other thing is, for big donations, since we're not a 501c3 registered corporation yet, you could donate directly to Camp Freedom and just put Operation Deeds Not Words, and this way all that money goes to Camp Freedom. So that's what Ozzy did last year. I think Ozzy put in $2,000. So it was really
but if you do that, let us know so we could account for it in our total.
Yeah, and we'll provide you with the tax ID and all that other stuff.
That's really cool, because if you got big money problems, there's a big money answer. There it is right there. You need a deduction before April 15th. You got time. You got 5 weeks still to hook this up. So all right, guys. Well, good luck with that. Thank you for doing that, Chris. You've got a long history of great campaigns that you've been kind enough to include me in, and I've been proud to. Jay, one question. You said that Jay, you said earlier this was something that you all created. Tell me about how did it start? Where did this idea come from? What was there kind of a genesis moment on there?
So every year, Chris does a portion of the year, and he'll I guess take on another company and push whatever their mission is.
Right.
And the first year, which would have been 3 years ago, I believe we were doing hero bracelets.
We were doing Till Valhalla first.
Yeah.
The Till Valhalla shirts. Yeah.
And I don't know. I just felt like we could do more. We can create our own thing. And that way we know where everything is going. Like, we have more control over it. So I had this idea
That's my guitar strap from a gig last Thursday with the Till Valhalla bracelet on it there. And
yeah, that's the Hero Company. Yeah,
that stays on the Gibson strap there.
So I came up with the concept, and I figured, since there's a lot of veterans in this community, let's prop them up as well as while we're doing this. So that's on the back of the shirt is all veteran companies and first responder companies. And I mean, it wouldn't be, this idea wouldn't be as big as it is without Chris. So collectively, both of us, I think we were just powerhouse, destined to be, to do this.
Yeah, the thing with Jay and how what he's not telling you is that how this initially started. I was talking to Jay, and Jay was like, "Man, what I would really love to do is build houses for veterans and have a gated community just for veterans and just give them the houses." And I was like, "Holy shit, this dude is thinking big,"
Right.
And so when I decided, what company I was going to work with or whatever this year, Jay was like, "Why don't we cut out the middleman and just, this way we could actually account for, what we sold." Like, we sold a lot of Till Valhalla shirts. I mean, I don't know if you remember, but there were posts all over the place about people buying shirts, but we couldn't keep track. So I do know that we got about $6,000 towards Till Valhalla in shirts, just from the people that posted pictures,
Okay.
So that's when we were like, maybe we just do our own. This way we could keep account of everything.
Right.
And we could pick where it's going, and Jay had mentioned Camp Freedom in passing one day, and he was like, I'd really like to help out, this place. And Camp Freedom does things with like Counts Customs out in LA, Las Vegas.
Oh, cool.
If you remember Counts Customs, he's the guy. Yeah, porn stars, they always would go to him for value on cars and all that. And they built like Jeeps and Cadillacs, and they auctioned off, those Cadillacs and Jeeps for Camp Freedom.
Oh,
and
cool.
So we're just joining like a long line of like rock and roll people doing cool stuff for veterans. We're just part of the bigger picture, and if we could be a small part of the picture, I'm thrilled with that.
That's been like my thing my whole life, is to be a part of something that's bigger than myself.
Right.
I think Camp Freedom has thousands and thousands of veterans and first responders integrated into their system. I'm in their system. I go in there, I got to check in, and whatever the event is, that they have tons of events going on, flea markets, auctions, banquets, balls.
Oh, cool.
They have annual
stuff is off-site. Some of it's not even on the campground. They do it all over the place. They travel the United States doing it.
You touched on something, both being a part of something, which I think people crave, like, as ironic as it is to say, because we're hanging out on a podcast on different coasts, or I'm not on a coast at all, but you get the point, way apart. But being a part of something in a community is important, and being a part of something that's bigger than ourselves. And like, not to get all cheesy, but it's got to be so cool to stand back and go, we know we made that difference, and here's the quantifiable amount. But it's not really about the amount. It's about what it's going to do and who can put a price on that. But if it leads to that being accomplished, that's got to be amazing too. And it's, I don't care if people think it's a flex or whatever BS they want to say. Like, that's a cool thing. And it's exactly what you're saying. It's deeds, not words. It's the reality. It's the real thing.
Yeah. Like we were tired of people just saying, thoughts and prayers with the troops. And like, I always remember this meme where there was an empty truck, and they had the back open and showed that it was empty, and it said, "Oh, thank God, your thoughts and prayers have arrived." And I'm like, that really defines the whole thing. Like, just do something. Yeah. You don't like me or Jay, support the vets anyway. You know, like just it's just the right thing to do. And there's been enough of these these hobo handouts in this community where people do auctions for like the dumbest reason, and people are like, oh, I'm going to raise money for you. I'm going to do this, and that. And we're like, why don't we raise money for an actual organization that does something, not just a guy that his boss yelled at him today and he's really sad. And I'm just like, why are we having an auction for that guy? So also, they're gonna, a lot of podcasts are going to be doing auctions for deeds, not words. And our one goal, or the one thing we told them, was you could have the auction and we welcome it, but don't just put up people's junk on the auction like normally happens. Put up things that actually matter. Right. And people have stepped up and they're doing it, and it's more so than the monetary value. Selfishly, I'm doing it because I've developed better friends doing this campaign for the last 2 years than I have in my 25 years in the hobby. So
I can't put it better than that. And I'm not going to get on a soapbox about, the benefits of giving and doing good and all that, but caring about something is important. And I'll just leave it there. But the benefits are fantastic, wide reaching ripple effect. And here we all are hanging out tonight. That is Jim at Warrior Garden Exotics. Jim, just shoot a message to Jay and Chris. Jim is a veteran. He's over in Illinois. And Jim, I did get your message. I've just been stupid busy. I will follow up with you. I got it. I'm not ignoring you. I saw it. I just haven't.
He's a veteran. Definitely message me.
Yeah. So, Chris, let's get to something else that's really important. How are you doing, man? You had a bit of you went on a little unplanned vacation for a little while, man. You doing all right?
Yeah, it was rough. I went through a botched surgery that left my other leg useless as well. And going through that is you have your parents there and you have your friends there, but it's a lonely time. Where people are going through it with you, but they're not you, and you just realize everything that you can't do. And this is one of the reasons that, I think that we put so much into the deeds, not words thing, is because if I didn't do that, I would just sit home being miserable, and it's, getting your mind right and getting out of it is, kind of a thing. So, yeah, Patrick, he's a veteran. He's a veteran. He's probably
from 10th Mountain Division too.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest guys that I fucking know, man. Patrick is the real deal. He
is. We always get to hang out at Tinley. I'm excited to see it. So twice a year I get to see him. That's what people don't get about like a cool show or a cool community. Like, it's just a cool hang out and get together. Yeah, we need to sell something and try and keep the lights on and all that, but it's so cool to see people and hang out. Yeah, I'll see Patrick this weekend as well.
Hey, Patrick, you didn't get bumped. We just got to spread it out,
Yeah. And what happened is when we put the word out this year, I mean, it filled up so quick. We only have 16 lines in the back of the shirt to put these, company names.
Oh, I see. I didn't know what you guys were talking about. I was like, bumped from where? What are we talking about? I got you from the shirt. So okay.
I want to, like, Patrick, you're always part of the group, but I want to expand it out and give other veteran companies a chance to get a little spotlight on them as well.
Yeah, Patrick was on the first year, I believe, right? Yeah.
All right, Jay, you took away my thunder. I was going to be like, Patrick, step up now, make your donation, make sure you get to the front of the line next year.
Do that.
Okay, all right. But then Jay had this really like kind, insightful thing that everybody gets a shot. I'm like, okay, I'll shut up, Adam. That's all right. So not to get too much into your personal stuff, Chris, but you getting by? You all right there? What do you got?
Yeah. No, I'm just I'm learning to live like Sean Bradley. All right. with with just no use of the other leg, So what I'm doing now is I have a lot of grabbers in the house,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I have a lot of grabbers, and basically last time Shauna was here, I have a fairly big apartment, right? And I was just like, why do I need a living room, right? Like I don't spend time in the living room, and we turned the entire living room into 2 other studios, to film in front of.
Yeah.
And now, it's like, I'm just doing everything I can to keep busy because, like I said, it's very easy just to lay down and feel sorry for yourself. And, I'm trying hard not to do that.
I don't allow it. Like a couple days will go by, I see no movement, no sound from Chris. I just call him up, light a fire under his ass.
Jay call me up. I tell everybody I went full retard from Tropic Thunder, and that's what I'm like. Yeah, no, I got to learn to live with it now, just like Ben Stiller did, right? So.
Well, I was going to make a joke that, all those years of giving Bradley the business, you see what that got you, That's
I'm positive he's the reason I'm this way.
Bradley might have gave him the business back.
Yeah, because what I did was
my point. Yeah.
I had made a video as a joke telling disabled people stop complaining when normal people park in your parking spot. I'm like, just find another spot. Shut up and find another spot. You're on wheels. You got momentum. You could go further, right? And I did it as a total joke, but man, did it piss off the paraplegic guys.
I imagine.
And Sean Bradley came on, and everybody, there were hundreds of comments laughing, saying, great job dealing with, what's going on in your life. And every comment, Sean Bradley left an FU to that person. So and then he starts talking about how I'm fake handicapped. And I was like, I didn't realize that there was a ladder to being handicapped.
Oh, there's a purity test, huh?
Yeah, Christopher Reeve is at the top.
Okay.
Right. And Sean Bradley's somewhere in the middle, and I'm way at the bottom. But now I'm catching up to Sean. And I'm convinced that because of that video, he's down in Louisiana. So I know he went to a voodoo person and said, give me a doll. And they just started stabbing the other leg.
In various places.
Because the botched surgery was such an extreme course of events that caused it. What happened was I had a bypass in my legs that were making my leg work, all the time. And when, they said I had a heart issue, they went in and they accidentally destroyed the bypass, so my vascular people had to come in and redo 8 years worth of work in a day. Right. And because of that, I don't have feelings, from my knee down. Yeah. So I can't drive anymore. I can't, do any of this stuff. Stop looking so sad, dude. I'm getting by.
I know, but Macamorphs nailed it. Like you can't just sit there and I'm not saying this to you. I'm just like, I'm going through the thoughts where like I complain about having to dig out a drain at a car wash. Like it's such a brutal, awful job. Like, okay, I got 2 legs and I can bend down and pick up a shovel full of muck that
right.
I don't, and I get, I get people's quarters and they give me a little bit of their dirt and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, I just need to shut up sometimes, and that's really what I'm thinking about. I know you're getting by, and I know
the thing that sucks, like I said, and I think you mentioned it last show, I can't go on stage anymore. I can't perform music anymore. I can't do like everything that I did love. Yeah. So now I have to talk for a living. And, not that I make a living from the podcast. I still got a day job. But, you can't take away my mouth, right? At least not yet, right?
Don't tempt him. He's going to go see his voodoo lady again.
So, you just got to keep busy. And if you're keeping busy and you could help people out at the same time, like why not do that, So, Well, one thing about going through something like this is you want to help other people that have gone through it, So
I have not experienced that, and I think everybody can say they've been through something tough. But the best things that ever helped me was just getting to work and getting something accomplished and something that didn't exist when I woke up that morning done, that I could say, at least I did that today or something, and you get going. So, and Jay's point is no small point either. If you're not going through something, look out for your friends who are going through something. And if you're going through something, find the good people to surround yourself with, like these guys do. So, I got to pay some bills, and with 3 people, it's a little bit tricky. So, I'm not going to I'm going to give Jay the spotlight, Chris. You always have it. I'm going to kick you off for a second. Jay and I are going to pay some bills. Plus, he wore the shirt. I mean, it's on it, right? So we got to do that. Audience, don't go anywhere. We're going to actually talk some ball pythons, and maybe Chris will complain or call us stupid or something. It'll be fun. We'll see about it.
Yes to all. All right.
Me and you will talk ball pythons, and he'll make fun of us.
There we go. All right, guys. As we mentioned, Redline Shipping. Why Redline Shipping? Redline Shipping has a phone number you could call for customer service that will be answered by reptile keepers and enthusiasts who know what they're doing and have institutional knowledge at FedEx. When you hear, oh, they can't do anything, what response did you get when there was the hazmat spill last week and your animals were stuck in Memphis if you didn't ship with Redline? If you shipped with Redline, they went and got them accounted for with the FedEx staff, accounted for. You get my point. Check out Redline Shipping. It's a great user interface. Use the promo code PROPER5. Get yourself $5 off your next shipping label. Thanks to Redline for all the support. Shedtesting.com. One logo up top is becoming, that logo right down there. Phenome. You see them side by side. Phenome is shedtesting.com of the future. That's the same company. It just greatly expanded. So Charlie Williams is still part of it all, handling the ball python DNA testing. Phenome is a genetics company. Go check out phenome.com. You'll see what ball python shed tests are available. Faster results, more accurate results because there's less human hands involved, and cheaper prices. So faster, better, cheaper. That's a really great value proposition. Go check out phenome.com. Sundog Serpents, that's Sarah and Josh down in Orlando, Florida. I've been doing business with them, working side by side with them since 2021. My days back in Florida for a little while before I moved to Minnesota. I tell you that because they're people that I trust. They got cool stuff going on. We have some breeding projects going on. They've bought animals from me. I've bought animals from them. Right now, in their availability, if it's not on Morph Market, just message them directly if one of these catches your attention. They got visual zebras and zebra combos. They have some Axanthic, TSK Axanthic zebra ingredients. They work all TSK Axanthic. Stranger hypo clown combos, Axanthic clowns, hypo ultramel pied combos, and hypo TSK pied combos as well. Thank you to Sundog Serpents. Go check out Sundog Serpents if you wouldn't mind. Reagan Renee Royal Pythons, a former 15 Minutes of Lame champion. That would have been 2024, I guess, a year ago versus the reigning champion Lace right now. Reagan Renee Royal Pythons. Go to ReaganRenee.com. You don't have to type Royal Pythons at the end. ReaganRenee.com. Couple things. All of his inventory is updated on ReaganRenee.com. All of it ships for free. He doesn't charge you for shipping if you go to his website and purchase a snake directly through the website. He's got all the different ways to pay, and that buy now, pay later kind of thing that you can get set up through most of the platforms as well. He's got those set up. And if you use the promo code PROPER10, you'll get another 10% off on top of that, just for hanging out and supporting your boy Adam here on the show. So he's got some really cool value add calculators that you can enter in valuations, and it'll give you a prospectus on potential value of the clutch from quote good to bad kind of deal, and same on the value of genetic testing, whether it makes sense to test those clutches or not. So check out those calculators. It's all free. Go to ReaganRenee.com. Keeper Kane is Kane and Michelle Fritz Fritz Wallace, they have a channel right here on YouTube. You're already on the platform, and they keep big snakes. They breed ball pythons. They keep tarantulas, aquatics, and it's all documented right there on the Keeper Kane channel. It's always family friendly, always safe for work, all that good stuff. You might not be allowed to like goof off on YouTube at work, but at least you won't get fired for the content. And so it's all of Kane and Michelle's journey. If you're in any Patreons or group chats, you probably come across Kane. He's a great dude in the community, and I'd love for you to go support them. Last but not least is Chris Shelley at BNS Reptilia, the original advertiser with proper royals, still here all these years later. I got to go look and find the first episode. We got to be close to 5 years that he's been doing this with me. We now vend at Tinley together. He'll be at the October edition with me, and we got a couple investment animals together and that kind of thing. So good business partner. He's Reptilia because not only does he specialize in ball pythons, but blood pythons, locality boas, colubrids of all shapes and sizes, even the Pituophis bull snakes and pine snakes. He'll have the permits, documentation, and the education to make sure that you can own them legally where you're at. If you are interested in that, get in touch with Chris at BNS Reptilia. He's also the regional purveyor of the chipper cocoa. So if you're in need of any of the above, go check him out. And you got my word, he's a good guy to work with. So tonight we are learning about Deeds Not Words 2. We already did learn about it. Go back to the start, check it out. But the very first line in the description is where you can click to learn how to donate. You could buy a shirt. You could buy an avatar graphic at a certain donation level. And there's even a higher tier with a military challenge coin custom for Deeds Not Words. And if you don't want any of that and you just want to support a good cause, there's a link in there too where you can just give however much you are able and comfortable to. I hope that you will support Deeds Not Words. I hope you'll support all of these companies. These are all people from within our industry that support our industry. I'm thankful. They literally keep my lights on, and they keep me going on Tuesday nights. I can't quit now. So thanks, everybody. And obviously, audience, thank you very much. I'll see you guys at Tinley this weekend. Jay, because I know, Chris wouldn't have a ball python anyhow these days, but what kind of things are you working? What gets you going on ball pythons? Why ball pythons? All that good stuff. Tell people about yourself a little bit.
So a lot of people think I'm new to this. I'm just new to ball pythons and social media. I've kept several different kinds of pythons through the years. I started breeding retics while I was in the military. I did it in the barracks. And until the chain of command found out about it.
I was going to say, how does that go down? Is it like that has to be either completely ignored or completely like done in a second, right?
So my immediate chain of command knew about it, but yeah. I was squared away, so nobody really gave me any shit about it. But a battalion found out, and that's when it had to come to an end.
What does one do with retics in the barracks when the battalion finds out about it?
So Sergeant Major was on his way down to do an inspection, and we didn't know about it. So I got somebody rapping on my door at like 3 in the morning, and they were like, "Yo, you got to get the shit out of here like now."
How big were they at the time?
Oh, I had animal plastic T20s. I think they're like 6 foot long, stacked up. I think I had like 4 or 5 of them in the barracks, and yeah, we had to pick everything up and right out the door into a van, and I brought it to one of my buddies. He's married, so he lived in all post housing.
Are you at liberty to say like where in the country generally this was?
So check this out. I was at Fort Drum, which retics are illegal in New York.
Okay.
But I'm on federal land, so it doesn't really count.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, who's gonna right? Who's yeah? Okay, that's yeah. All right.
Whenever Jay tells that story, I think of the sergeant from Full Metal Jacket, where he's right. He's like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, a jelly donut, sir. And I could just see Jay like a reticulated python, sir.
So the Sergeant Major in question, he was Sergeant Major Moore, but we called him. He called us all Ranger buddies because he was a tabbed Ranger, and he's exactly like that.
We're not that I want to make light of this in this way, but like, were the snakes ever in danger? Like, if you startle somebody with a retic that has that, I'm assuming he's armed somehow or physically capable of some pretty heavy duty damage. What was the response that he comes up on these things?
So most of the people in the barracks, like the soldiers that lived there, they were kind of scared of him. Like
Yeah, right.
they didn't really know. There was only like a small group of people that hung out in my room, and it was, you know, other reptile type people.
Yeah.
I don't know what his reaction would have been if he actually seen it.
Oh, he's
I'm
kind of
glad
caught
we
wind.
never found out either.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. What just hypothetically, what's not like the physical pain, but like what would have been like an official punishment? Was it just get rid of him and you were done, or did you did you have to peel some potatoes or something?
This particular guy would have kicked my ass.
Yeah,
like,
he
physically.
Okay, so
we got him out of the building and we got him off post, and nobody ever knew. I still talk to my first sergeant and another sergeant major, and they joke about it to this day.
Right.
They can't believe I'm still that's what he says. He's like, can't believe you're still messing with those snakes.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the attraction for it? Do you find it as a getaway? Do you find it as just a cool thing?
I've always been interested in them, but now it's more of, it keeps me busy. So legally I'm disabled too, because I have PTSD. I've been to combat 4 or 5 times.
Yes, sir.
So for me, it is an escape from everything. It keeps my mind focused. It keeps me going. They're like my soldiers, you know, so I'm responsible for them.
Yeah.
So I got to make sure that, you know, their thrivability is still going.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that tidbit with us, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. And cool. You get into any specific morphs? Anything got you excited these days?
I work a lot with clown. This year I got some Desert Ghost clown stuff,
cool.
some Desert Ghost Exantic clown stuff going, some Confusion clown stuff going, and some Bang clown stuff going.
All right. What's this bang thing? Like, is this one of these, to use Chris's, not Chris's expression, I've said, is this going to be one of these pump and dump things? Like, it seems like a little gang. Like, some people can get it, some can't. What's up with it?
I'm not part of that gang.
Okay.
So
all right.
I acquired it. I acquired a Bang clown. And
something tells me if you want something, you're like Red in Shawshank. You're a guy who knows how to get things. So you wanted a little bit of bang on the gene, right?
Yeah, so I'm working it and see what I could do with it. I have paired it to some Hurricane Het clown stuff, so I'm pretty excited to see what the turnout of that looks like.
Okay. And my comment was tongue in cheek, like Chris Shelley, Jeremy Warfel. I give these guys a whole bunch of crap for it. Nathan, they all have they're the bang gang, I call them. Like, you talk about it, but you can't sell it. Like, what's going on here? You know.
Actually, this is probably the first time that I've told anybody that I have. So I have things that I just don't talk about.
Right. Okay. Well, all right, there we go. Breaking news. Thanks for thanks for sharing. Where can people find you? Obviously on Instagram, Morph Market. Do you venture with your animals?
I'm on Morph Market, Reptile ads. There's a Facebook page, but it's kind of tied to the Instagram page. So
right. How's your experience been with Reptile ads?
So I just started the account. I haven't uploaded anything onto it yet.
Okay.
I'm been slacking. I got a lot of other stuff going on, and there's just not enough time in a day sometimes. But eventually, I'm gonna get that going. But I do exist there.
Okay. All right. That's actually exactly my story too. I exist there. I haven't done anything. I feel bad. Husbandry Pro has been great to me. No issues with Reptile ads, and I certainly root for them. So I'm interested to hear people's feedback on that. So, what's got your blood boiling these days, Chris? What's your favorite thing that you've heard lately, man?
A couple of things.
He's made a list.
First of all, you people and your rainbow projects.
Yeah, I got it.
I just think that's the dumbest project in the world. That is the longest possible road to a banana. right? That's all it is. Okay. I'm taking the long way to get to a banana. I'm going to do this rainbow thing. But actually, I'm really happy with the attitude that changed over the last couple of years. Craig and I were talking about this on some podcast where the one thing 2025 kind of proved to everybody is that this isn't a get rich quick scheme, ball python thing anymore. People realize the work that it's becoming a real industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of all the people involved in it. And what I'm really seeing is the people that are making $1,000 to $3,000 a show selling $500 animals really doing good right now. And I love the fact that it's changed from I'm going to become the next Justin to, hey, if I could make an extra 40 grand a year selling ball pythons, doing something I love, that puts me in a totally different tax bracket than I am right now. And I love the attitude shift. With some of the bigger people, I still find I get aggravated when they talk about doubling your money, tripling your money, and saying that during the sale of the animal. Well, whenever I bought a snake from Justin, and we've spent thousands of dollars on snakes from Justin, Justin never said to me, "You'll double your money next year. You'll triple your money next year." And these podcasts that are coming on saying, you're going to make the money, they're so hypocritical because they're like, buy in big, but spend the money. And, one of the guys said to make any sort of impact, you have to come in with 200 grand, 250 grand. And that's kind of discouraging people, I think, saying I'm not going to make an impact coming in when I'm seeing father-son teams and local guys making $2,000-$3,000 at a show, at a local show, and they're totally thrilled with life, right?
Right.
And there's no aspiration to be the next Justin or the next Miguel, or and you could hold on to the dream, but there is a lot of pump and dump action going on with people saying come in and spend $20,000 on this snake, because history has shown next year that the snake won't sell for $400. And of course you could make your 20 grand back eventually if you sell 80 of those snakes, but I'm really happy with the way the ball python people are doing it now, because the majority of people that I deal with are in that mid-level, small to mid-level range, and they're happy with everything,
I think, I know it's a cheesy cliche, but I honestly, I think comparison is what do they say? It's the thief of joy or whatever. Like if you're not enjoying what you're doing, and you've seen it in music too, like, and you've seen these dudes that can absolutely rip on the dirt cheapest guitar. They can make a broomstick sound like Eddie Van Halen. And then some dude walks in with like a $5 grand Les Paul custom and plays a G chord. And he's like, I'm the guy, and you're like, right. You're not doing anything, but if all anybody, and comparison is fun because we like to show off and there's Instagram and all of that. But if you're judging yourself against other people, like judge it against yourself in the mirror, or whether your numbers are black or red, because if your numbers are black, screw what anybody else has to say about what you're breeding. That is a victory right there, man.
Absolutely. And people tend to forget, you could put $200,000 into it, but you're not those guys, like you don't have that personality. Like it takes a special guy to be a Miguel or a Bob Vu or a Justin, like your average guy doesn't have that ability. And the thing that bothers me is when people sell you the thought that you have that ability. But what people got to remember is, listen, if everybody is special, then nobody is special.
That's right. Yeah, not everybody's all above average. Yeah,
that's the bottom line. And I love seeing people successful with this. But I also do, love seeing people who are like, yo, I remortgaged my house, and got into ball pythons. And after and you've been in this long enough where after 2 minutes talking to them, you're like, yeah, I don't know if I would have did that if I was you,
I would see it not even in ball pythons, just in everyday work life. Somebody would be like, yeah, I went ahead and cashed out my 401k. And I'm like, for what? Why? Yeah. What are you doing? You don't do that. Like, go. It's okay. Make a little banana or rainbow or whatever you want to make. It's cool. Like if you're happy with it, make it. And I also I don't like that there's not the context. As much as I hate to admit it, there's some people that 200 grand is like two grand of my money to them.
Right.
And that's okay. But that's another place where comparison is going to do nothing but make you sad. You weren't sad till you woke up and realized your 2 grand wasn't their 200. You don't need to compare that. Just be happy with your 2 grand. And that context goes out the window. There are people that can afford it and they've built businesses and they've been successful in life and they know, hey, here's another widget that I can't fall in love with. I see the angle. I'm going to go for it. That's fine. But that's not the case for most people, myself included. And I don't know a world where that makes sense for anybody to ever speak to.
I think what a lot of breeders now, especially the bigger breeders, and not all of them, guys like Justin, guys like Bob, aren't the people doing it, but they're selling FOMO. They're not even selling snakes anymore. They're selling fear of missing out on something. So if you don't get this $10,000, snake, you can't be part of the club. And if you're not part of the club, then you don't matter, right? And what I'm here to tell you is that you don't have to be part of that club to matter, because you can make an extra 60 to 100 grand a year doing something that you love. Going to I've seen so many newer people and lower to mid-level people just enjoying themselves at a show. Like we go to the Gettysburg show every time, and it's just a local show. People are having so much fun at that show,
right?
And you go to Tinley, you go to some of these other big shows, and people are just behind the fucking table looking sad, not even trying. And I'll tell you, I don't miss it. Okay. And I'm really enjoying going to the shows these days and just having fun. But the bigger shows, you do see those people who are just, still, no matter what, shitty looking table, depressed looking guy behind it on his phone, and you can't do that. The one thing I love that, has been happening is the elevation of the table look.
Yeah.
I'm loving that it looks like an actual trade show now instead of a Tijuana flea market, so I love seeing, I mean, listen, some of the banners and designs are just god awful, but at least they're trying, at least they're trying. I think, and I don't want to be the guy that flip flops. I don't want to be called a chancleta by Brian. But I do see the benefits of how it's progressed because of so many people in it.
I was going to say there are things move slowly, and you're one of my favorite quotes that I tell people is from you. Do you know how long 3 years is? Like we forget how long 3 years is. Yeah. But even in this will be 6 years I've been playing in this sandbox myself. But even from that, seeing things like people focusing on lighting, or like you say, banners, or taking the time to look for bugs and mites and cleanliness and, keeping each other honest and straight that way, is there are benefits that way. And I'm proud that is, and you talked about, you and Craig talking about, it's becoming a reputable industry or an industry in and of itself. So I think that stuff was really cool. You said, you sounded a little optimistic there, Chris. You said,
no, I'm very optimistic because when I first started this, we were just into reptiles. I got into reptiles in California, right? My girlfriend had like 9 or 10 berms, a couple of retics, and she would just let them free roam the house, right? And at the time we were keeping berms and retics and monitors, so like Savannah monitors and Nile monitors. I had a 6-foot American alligator for a while. That we kept in a bathtub in a separate bathroom. And, I remember having fun, doing that. And I remember when we started breeding, we were having fun producing things, but I was like, yeah, it's still not as much fun as just keeping, different species of animals. And I would tell people all the time that there's a world of difference between opening up a rack and taking a picture of a snake because you have to, and opening up a rack and taking a picture of a snake because you want to. Okay. Right. And when it becomes a job, that's usually when most people, tap out.
Yeah. The awe still has to be the moment that you're like opening it up and you're still like, damn, that is nice, man. Like, and not because Instagram says so, not because 40 people, you're showing it off. You just open it up and you're like, man, that's like, whether you're into God or art or whatever it is, however that animal came into boom right there that you get to share that moment is really, really cool. Do you think, and you might, I don't know, maybe you don't feel like you have the insight on this one, you might not, but you usually have some thought. Do you think the supply and the demand have finally, I mean, are we finally in a new era post-COVID? Not yet. No, we're not there. No,
I think there's too many ball pythons in the country. There's just, and you can't help it, right? I mean, when you got new people coming in every day and they get 50 animals that produce on average 6 eggs a piece, that one guy has 300 ball pythons now. That one guy. And that's a kid. That's your neighbor in Florida. Okay. Right. I was very good friends with Tom Baker, the guy that created the crystal.
Okay.
When he created the crystal, he was getting 20 grand for a crystal, 25 grand for a crystal. It turned the guy from the guy that I hired to wash my cars to the guy that was just looking at you like going, F you, I ain't washing your car anymore.
Right. Yeah.
I'm building my own house with the money I made this year. Right. But even he got out of it because he's like, you can't help but sell to your competition. Right. And that's really the bottom line. Like all these people that are like, I love ball pythons. I call bullshit on that, because how many people do you know with 1 ball python or with 3 ball pythons? Everybody has ball pythons specifically to breed them. And that's adding to the problem. And, the other thing is the auctions, man. I was on Morph Market the other day and there wasn't a snake above $800, and there were no bids on these snakes. And these are snakes that people were paying $3 grand for last year, so that's a worrisome thing that I don't know how to solve.
I think so. I don't know how to, let me think how to formulate this. I always think of things in like, there's forces. So there's this pendulum and it forces it one way. And like, we see this in politics, we see this in social issues, we see this in economics, political science, socioeconomic situations worldwide. And I see it as like, okay, we swung really hard to auctions and maybe we swung a little too hard, not thinking what the long-term ramifications are. But then also the people that bought in so heavily only on auctions and were taught and bought into the habits of, I'm only going to buy something for a deal. Like we all hear all our lives. Sometimes you got to spend money for quality. And, right, I'm not trying to be the guy that goes buy expensive quality ball python. Don't get me wrong on that. But what I am saying is it's kind of like the red line value proposition. If you want somebody that's going to help you after the sale, don't buy at an auction. If you want somebody that's going to get back in touch with you, or if you call on them and say, hey, this thing's got scale rot that you didn't disclose, you ain't going to hear from them on an auction, you know?
Right.
And so there's a stiffer buyer beware. And I don't like auctions. I've never felt the need to. I wouldn't say never. I didn't even say thanks to Palm Street. I do use Palm Street, but I use it for the live sales. But about once a year, I do an auction. If there's stuff that just plain doesn't sell, fine, I'll auction it. But as like a core business model, I think that pendulum's going to have to come back, because it's just not worth it. And I don't think people could stay focused, to your point, on the 3 and the 5 and the 10-year projects if really what they're buying are deals rather than projects and focus.
Well, not only that, you know, the thing that you got to remember is that I would agree with you if this was a product, right? But it's a living animal, right? So what do you think happened to the thousands of cinnamons that were produced in 2001, 2002? That they end up in a freezer somewhere, you know? And it's going to get to the point where I was thinking it was going to be last year, but I think within the next year or two, ball pythons are going to be sold specifically for food, you know, in some cases. And that's kind of like a shitty thing to think about, right? Like fucking people. I think if people, nobody's going to do it, but if they took a year off from breeding, not breeding at all, that may make some of the animals sell that aren't selling now. But you know, the fact of the matter is, if you're always that guy looking for a deal, you're going to be that flipper, that mid-level, that small level, your whole career, you know?
Yeah. What, let me play, not even devil's advocate. Let me take a stand for what my world, where I'm at. What if the hobby has grown? What if, to your point, the people that grow, every new person that grows has 20 or 50 or however many ball pythons, and that's where a lot of them are going.
Yeah, but you could see just by looking at morph market numbers that's not the case, right? Because people aren't bidding on $800 snakes that are worth $3,000. You know?
Or they're not worth $3,000. I don't know.
Or they were never worth $3,000. That's the pump and dump, right?
That part I'm with you on. And sorry, gilded scales. No, I don't knock anybody from buying a good deal. As a market, what do you call it? As a core central piece of the market, I don't like the auctions. That's just my opinion. The people behind it, no way. I think they're great for if you find what you're after on an auction, of course, buy it. You just got to know. But no, I don't think anybody's a second-class customer. And how people spend their money, how people vote, how people walk through life. If you're a decent person, I got nothing to say about it. That's everybody's choice. So actually, thank you for that comment. That is a fair question. I'm not saying that. I have a general dislike for the business model of it. It exists. It's here. I got to live in that world. So that's no problem.
Right. That's the only thing you can do, right? Is you have to navigate it. You know, you have to navigate it and see what's possible. Another thing that I do love is these larger enclosures and people spending $5,000 on enclosures and $3,000 on the snake. Like I love seeing that. Like I don't think that some people don't need 50 ball pythons. They only want 10. Right. And if they want to put them in 4-foot enclosures and decorate the cages and make it a centerpiece of your house, I'm a big fan of that too. I was always a big fan of making the reptile the centerpiece of your house and making the cage, like where people come over and be like, holy shit, what is that? And that I think grows the hobby more than, hey, look in this drawer. Check it out. Check it out. Isn't that snake a different shade of brown? Yeah, that's worth $5,000 for that shade of brown, right?
Different shade of yellow with red eyes. It's called a rainbow. Okay. Yeah. But on the on reptiles in general, like like a cool chameleon setup is amazing, or with fish, or like a cichlid tank is amazing. But we also know, in my experience, some ball pythons just ain't going to make it in a massive enclosure. They might as adults. You got to get them there.
Of course. Speaking of like a sick chameleon enclosure, Shane Kelly.
Oh,
I mean, Shane Kelly went out, spent like fucking $1,200 on cages and lighting and a mist system. And I mean, it's really like I love the animals, but I just don't necessarily love the hey, we're going to keep this in a drawer its whole life and it's going to make me money. That mentality. I
get that. Yeah.
But like if you don't love the animal and you're doing it for the money, I don't think there's that many people left that have done that. I also think that blaming COVID is kind of getting old and tired. It's like, voting for the president and blaming him for the guy that, spent the last 4 years, ruining everything, so blaming COVID, I think is kind of over with by now. People have moved on and people are still spending money. And here's, I think what the problem is, and it's not really a problem, but I think that your average guy now is producing amazing shit. Like your average guy is, right. A snake is going to sell that looks great. And your average guy is producing that now. So I think what's going to happen is eventually the top end ball pythons are going to, have a leveling out point of $2,500, let's say. And that's going to be the max you pay for a nice looking ball python. Now that's not saying that the breeders don't, pay for the genes and everything else, on higher end animals. But I think on average, people buy what they like to look at. And I think you're seeing less of, I'm going to buy this awesome looking animal and stick it in a drawer. And, that's good for the hobby,
Yeah, I think one of my favorite expressions is if it's like a joke. If I have to explain it to you, it's probably not that funny. If I have to explain why the snake is cool, it's probably not that cool. Now,
right.
To each individual, of course, and also the value of hets. It's not a perfect analogy. I'm not here to debate people. Like, just don't worry. And I've gotten comments before on that, so I'm not trying to fight that. But I love that idea where at a show, and to your point, of course, I'm thrilled to sell $1,000+ animals when I can. It's rare. It's few and far between. But when I could sell quite a few at 300 to 500 to people that are excited because they see something, just like we were talking about, they see something and it doesn't compute. Somebody that thinks they're into a ball python, but has never seen a piebald before, like their brain melts and it's the coolest thing to see, and not to just hear head, morph, odds, morph, going to hit it one of these days all day long. You know what I mean?
Well, I guarantee you, if you show up at a table with just bells and pieds, you will sell out at every show. At $200 a piece,
Yeah. Oh, higher than that, my man. I will testify under oath. You can do that. It can happen, man. So, and actually that was the point I was coming to, was you could put it this way. I used to sell white Zinfandel by the gallon as a certified sommelier, just so I could afford a couple of my little trophy bottles to say that I had them on my wine list. You can have your trophy projects and still sell the white Zinfandel that everybody loves to throw ice cubes in, because that will pay the bills for man.
Right. How many times in your life have you been like, I'm a certified sommelier, and somebody in the background was just like, gay? All right. Like, how many times in your life did that happen?
Trust me, I don't bring it up often. Okay. We'll leave it right there, man.
It's like at a hot dog contest. Every time you see the guy eating a hot dog, you're just like, gay.
Yeah. Well, so, okay. I'm still excited. I like going out there. I like getting out there and selling, and I think it's fun. And I always appreciate, you had a great explanation one time of what people don't know. If anybody's watching this and doesn't know Chris, he doesn't just come and complain. Did you say more than 10 years of your life you were at this with probably bigger money than anybody else's? Oh, not anybody, but most people watching have put in.
Oh yeah. I mean, we put in probably $250,000.
Yeah.
And it was at a time when people were paying. Like we imported, 2 of the first 10 strangers that were ever in the country. So we have a history, and then prior to that, like I've been keeping reptiles on a large scale since 1999. Now, for the past 5 years, I've taken off and just have 1 or 2 reptiles in the house, but that doesn't negate the experience, And that's the one thing that's like an uphill battle with me is like, people always think, oh, he's the guy that complains and is the funny guy, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like I'm like, bitch, I fucking put in more money than you made in 10 years, into this hobby. So, I mean, we were paying, I think we paid $4,000 for our first banana clown. We bought 2 of them, and now, banana clowns, $30, right? So it's like, and what people forget is that there's, there's competition, like ball python people to ball python people. There's definitely so much competition now, but people are forgetting the guy that sells 200 single gene ultramels wholesale a year and makes his 90 grand and walks away happy. Is that guy a failure because you've never heard of him? I mean, that's the kind of BS in the hobby that I don't like, where the older guys and the people, doing things like that don't get zero respect. I know people that you never heard of that bought 5 and 6 houses on their ball python money, and are still, living that life today. How many podcasts have you seen Mark and Kim Bell on?
I was just about to say, you and I know at least one person that's got 18 to 20 buildings on his property, 2 of them houses, and nobody's, and I'll let him be. And he's awesome. He's been a huge help to me and a huge friend, but nobody knows him, and he's happy to be that way because he doesn't have to deal with any of this stuff. He sends out an email and the orders come in and he goes about his business.
Right. Yeah. And he's just happy doing it,
Yes. Yeah. Good man too.
Yeah. He's a great guy.
Yeah. So, guys, go to the Fat Man Nation or the very first line in the description. Go check out the Deeds Not Words. Give a little bit. Like I say, how many of y'all are going to watch this? How many views are there going to be? Think what a difference. 5, 10, 20, $35. You get a shirt for it. You can get the graphic for it. You can do the different tiers, and Chris and Jay are awesome. You want some easy promotion and a good way to do something good? Fine. Be selfish. Get your easy promotion, man. They're gonna show you off. They're gonna put you over, man. Thanks for doing what you guys are doing. Forget, all the nitpicking and BS we choose to engage in this hobby. Sometimes this is cool stuff you guys are doing. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Well, this is the one thing that you can't really argue. Like this first responders, you can't be like, no, they don't deserve my money,
Right.
So, these are guys that ran towards the worst situations in life when everybody else was running away. All right. So come on, guys. I mean, really, just buy a shirt, right? Even if you never wear it,
Yeah.
So the thing that I can't believe is people are buying shirts asking for my signature on it.
Look at that.
I'm just like, what do you want that $35 shirt to be worth $8? Like I remember when Jeremy Baud was doing your guitar.
Yeah.
And he was bringing it to everybody. And he was like, Chris, I'd really like you to sign it. And I'm like, what? I'm like, there's no way I'm signing that with Ralph Davis and Brian Barczyk. Like, dude, you must be out of your mind, yeah, I'm surprised at that. And, I'm just thankful for the support that I get in the hobby, for just being honest. Like that's all I'm doing is like just telling you what I think of it. You don't like what I think of it, don't do it. That's all.
Not
invest in a rainbow.
There you go. Go give me a call in a year. Invest in a rainbow. Yeah. We don't even have to go down that rabbit hole. But isn't it crazy? Like people can change the channel. You can watch something else. It's okay. Yeah. It's all right. I don't want you to, but it's okay if you do.
Yeah. Listen, I understand that I'm a polarizing person, right? Like it's either people are like, oh man, Chris is awesome. Look at what he's doing for the vets. Or it's like, fuck that crippled fuck, right? There's nobody that says, oh, Chris, yeah, he's all right. Like literally nobody in the middle there. So I'm just happy with the people that like me, appreciate what I do. And as well as I do, like so much gets put into this dumb show, right? Like literally the amount of time and equipment and energy it takes to do it every week. I've been doing this for, since 2016. Yeah. So 9 years, people that appreciate it, I'm really happy about that. And just two quick things I wanted to mention about the sponsors. Number one, Phenome is going to have a bunch of announcements at Tinley this week. So I look forward to that. And then Redline, just last year, I ship everything through Redline, and they lost a package of shirts that we were doing. And they always say, oh, these shipping companies can't send people on the truck. Redline found the truck and sent the guy in the truck, found the package, and it got delivered the next day. So if that's not touting what Redline can do and the other companies can't, then ship with the other companies. But believe me, there's a problem waiting to happen. Okay. And I'd rather know that somebody can send a guy on a truck than know that somebody can't,
Right. It's like built-in insurance, whether you want to buy the insurance or not, because it's just their standard.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Mm. Guys, thank you for hanging out tonight. Audience, I got Jared from Gem Exotics next week on the show. Post Tinley as well. I hope to see everybody there. Chris and Jay, seriously, thank you. It's a pleasure to have you guys. I love hanging out with you. And I look forward to doing it again sometime soon. If I can help, let me know. And go donate, do all that good stuff. Josh, when you gonna come on this show, man? I'm a little jealous. I think you've been on Chris's before.
I've had Josh on. Yeah.
Yeah, you ruined him. Anyway, Josh.
Yeah, no. Josh is awesome. Fucking such a great guy, man.
I had a memorable evening in Daytona that I'm sure both of us have fuzzy recollections of, and it was just the way it should be. So cheers, everybody. See you guys next week. Thank you so much. And yeah, deeds not words. Thanks.